Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are keeping well. Stay at home, stay safe. Okay? So today we are going to begin with the topic people and governance. So it is simple topic and it is at the same time very important for every one of us. As we are in a democratic government, we need to participate with the government to make better our country. Okay? So to make you understand this topic better, let me show you a diagram where it will make you understand better. Look at this, my dear students. Look at this diagram. This diagram will give you overall idea of the democracy. It will give overall idea of the good governance. Okay, how people participate with the government. So here we can see begin with equitable and inclusive. So to make a government better, there should be a equal distribution for everyone according to the class, creed. There should be distribution. Poor should be taken care so that government runs well. Inclusive, we should participate. We should be included in the running of government. Okay. Be responsible. Government should be responsible, and we should also be responsible. Transparent. What government is doing, we should able to see. That is called transparent, because we are electing them. Accountable. Government should be accountable, and we people also should be accountable. What government is doing, and public property should be taken care. That is called accountable. Conscious oriented. We should be conscious what is happening in government and what people are doing. Are they cooperating each other? Are they working for betterment of the society? So that is what we should be conscious. We should become aware of it. Okay. Participatory here, students. Participation. We need to participate in government's activity so that we know what is happening. Are the development taking place? So that is called participation. Participatory. Follows the rule of law. Okay, we have to follow the rules of law, and even government, what are the constitution prescribes, they should follow it so that our state or our government runs well. Okay, effective and efficient. Government should be effective, my dear students. We should always elect the effective government. They should be doing well, and it should be efficient also. Efficient means there should be proficiency. They should be able to do the work for the betterment of the state, betterment of the country, betterment for the society. Okay, so this is what the good governance is, my dear students. And if you want to make good government, then we need to participate with all these things. Okay, so I hope you understood. Now I'll try to explain to you line by line so that you understand better. Okay, first line, you look at it. In a democracy, the basic essence is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Who said this? Abraham Lincoln, my dear students. He has given the best definition for the democratic government. Democracy should be this: government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is all about participation of the people. We the people are the government. So when we elect, we should be aware of it. Okay, so let's see ahead. Next line you see, while we saw how the people formed their government and how they govern, let us now see how the aspects of for the people. What is this for the people? Now you have to understand for the people. As we say, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now we are going to see what is this for the people. For the people means it is for the people, my dear students. Okay, all the rights we should know, our rights, what government is doing for us, what the ministers are doing for us. Are they working for the betterment of the society? Are they working for the upliftment of the society? So that is what for the people is all about, my dear students. Okay, again it says So suppose the government is not doing well. Let us see little ahead. If the government is not doing well, what we have to do? Huh? We are participating. We should participate. Are they working for the welfare of the people? Are they working for the betterment of the society? If not, then we need to check the policies which government has made, their schemes, so that our state improves. Okay, and if not, we should able to fight for our rights. Okay, that is what explains all these lines. Now go a little ahead. Now go to the next paragraph here. The leaders of the opposition parties then go to the public in different forms and convey their views as to whether the government has done its job effectively. Okay, opposition party plays a great role, my dear students. They fight for the rights of the people. If the government is not doing well, opposition party fights for it, goes for rallies, goes for different oppositions, and that is how they make people know that government needs to do better. So opposition party has a great role, my dear students. Okay, and there can be a press conferences, there can be a public debates here, there can be media debates there, public rallies, organization, protests, etc. Okay, why? For the betterment of the society, to make government that they are not doing the right one. Okay, you see sometimes they will close up shops, there's a band, you say, strikes and all in the schools. So there are public places, transports are been blocked. Why? Because of this opposition parties and the public people participating to make no government that they are not doing well. So this is how we have to become aware, my dear students. Okay, here I said the same thing. Whole paragraph talks about the same thing. What they talk about? The same thing. They show their grievances. Grievances is sadness. How they show their grievances? How? By going to the rallies and all of what I told you, for different bands, strikes and all this. Okay, so if the government is not doing well, here it is given here that they can plan to change in the next election, and that is how they show their difficulties, that this government has not done well, so they change the government. This is how we need to participate, my dear students. We are the citizen of India, we are citizen of state, Odisha state. We need to take initiative to change the government if they are not doing well. Okay, that is how people need to participate in the government. Okay, now what this last paragraph talks about is the whole chapter is summarized here. Okay, we have seen how the state government is formed, how the state government functions, and in other aspects also you have seen whether it fulfills all the duty needs of the people. Okay, whether it maintains. Okay, everything is mentioned here, same thing what we have studied, so same thing is summarized. Now this topic is over. Now we are going to see the another topic, State Legislative Council. This also belongs to the one of the topic of the chapter, state government. Okay, this is the remaining topic, just small one. That is why I want to explain to you what is the State Legislative Council. I want to explain to you, my dear students. Okay, I'll show you the diagram, you'll understand better. Only 4 or 5 lines, very simple to make you understand. Let's see, State Legislative Council, it is given here, students. Parliament, bicameral, 2 houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. This is the parliament or central government. It has got how many houses? 2 houses. 2 houses are called bicameral, and that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. That is all of us know, is it? Yes. But we are studying about state. We are studying about state. So in a state, what is in a state legislative council is all about? Yes, in a state, sometime there are bicameral houses. Okay, now you'll be wondering if you don't understand easily. That is why I try to understand. Okay, in parliament we have 2 houses, in a state whether there are two houses, yes or no, that is the question mark. That's why I have made a diagram for you to understand. State has got, some states have got bicameral, the two houses, that is legislative assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha, and legislative council, that is Vidhan Parishad. And unicameral, only one house. Some states are having only one, my dear students, one house, that is legislative assembly. And this is how, according to the population, it is divided. Okay, the states, those are big states, those are having more constituencies, they are having two houses. Okay, that is Odisha also is planning to do that. And there are many states, I will show you so you'll understand better. These are the states. Okay, look at these, all of you. These are the states having there are 6 states, my dear students. I'm sorry, here it is written 7. There are 6 states. Jammu and Kashmir has been removed because it has become recently, all of you know, it has become union territory. That is why it is removed from here. There are 6 states are having legislative council assemblies. Okay, that is Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and Bihar. These are the states are having more constituencies, dear students. According to population, they have got more constituencies and they have got bicameral houses, bicameral legislative assembly. Okay, so they have got 2 houses. They have got 2 houses, and other states are having only 1 houses, that is legislative assembly. Okay, so it is given here. You can look at this. Just like in parliament, legislative assembly is lower house, legislative council is upper house in the state also. Same. Okay, legislative assembly is the lower house and legislative council is the upper house in the state also, dear students. Okay, let us see the composition, how it is formed. Okay, maximum strength is 1/3 of strength of assembly. Okay, minimum strength is 40. Again I will tell you, this not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir, it is mentioned already. Just like Rajya Sabha, members are elected for 6 years. Okay, but just like Rajya Sabha, 1/3 members retire every 2 years. Okay, in the Rajya Sabha also 1/3 of the members retire every 2 years. In the state also, now legislative council, 1/3 of the members retire every year. Okay, so this is what the whole composition is all about. I hope you understood the topic. If you have not understood, please read it. You will get better ideas. If you don't understand, we will explain to you again. Please ask the doubts. Okay.